Hey everyone, today we're jumping into some of the most critical road rules out there, the ones that are all about protecting pedestrians and kids. Look, these aren't just suggestions. They are the absolute, must-know, non-negotiable laws that every single safe driver has to have down pat. So let's get right into it.
So, picture this. You're driving, you see someone at a crossing. What's your immediate gut reaction? What does the law actually require? Your answer really says a lot about your instincts as a driver. By the end of our session today, you're going to know the answer to this. Cold. No hesitation. Okay, first things first. Before we can even talk about the rules for protecting pedestrians, we've got to be super clear on who the law considers a pedestrian. And, the answer might actually surprise you. Seems pretty straightforward, right? A pedestrian is someone on foot. But, well, that's where things get interesting, because the official definition is way broader than that, and honestly, this is a detail that trips up a lot of drivers. And here's where we kind of have to reset our brains. Check this out. A person pushing a moped? Yep, they're a pedestrian. Someone in a wheelchair moving at walking speed? A pedestrian. The law gives all of these people the exact same protections. So the real takeaway here is you need to widen your scan. You're not just looking for people walking, you're looking for all of this.
All right, let's dive into the big one. The most common and probably the most important interaction between cars and people, the zebra crossing. This is where the rules get super strict, and for good reason. The stakes are incredibly high.
A safe approach to a crossing isn't some last-second decision. It's a whole process. And it starts way back, about 150 meters out, the moment you spot that triangular warning sign. That sign is your trigger. It means ease off the gas, start actively scanning the sidewalks, and get your mind ready to stop completely. It's all about anticipation, not just reaction. This right here is the golden rule. It is not a suggestion, it is an absolute. If a pedestrian is on the crossing, or even just looks like they're about to step onto it, you stop. They have priority, period. You absolutely need to remember that for your exam. Now let's talk about one of the most dangerous things you could possibly do near a crossing. Just look at that gray car. The car in front has stopped for a reason, and by swerving around it, the driver of that gray car has created a massive, deadly blind spot. They can't see the pedestrian, and the pedestrian has no idea they're coming. This isn't just a simple mistake. The source material is clear. This is a serious violation. You just never, ever do this.
Okay, let's switch to a really common scenario that I'm sure you've been in. You're stuck in a slow-moving queue of traffic, just inching along, and up ahead there's a zebra crossing. What's the right move here?
The rule is incredibly simple and totally absolute. You do not enter that crossing unless you are 100% certain you can clear it completely on the other side. So if the car in front of you crosses and then stops, you stop before the white lines. You have to leave that crossing totally clear. Blocking it is not only illegal, it's just incredibly dangerous and rude.
Now for stopping and parking. There's a very specific zone around a crossing where special rules apply. I like to think of it as a danger zone, and it all comes down to one little magic number.
5 meters. Go ahead and burn that number into your brain. It's the key to understanding one of the most misunderstood and most frequently tested parking rules on the entire road code. Okay, let's break this down because this is a huge exam tip. First off, parking on the crossing itself, always forbidden, obviously. Now, for that 5-meter zone before the crossing, you cannot stop or park on the road itself in this zone. Why? Because your car would block the view for other drivers. But, and this is the key distinction, you can usually park on the verge or shoulder. Then, once you're past the crossing, you're generally good to park unless, of course, there's a sign telling you not to.
All right, let's shift gears. We're moving from general pedestrian safety to a really specific situation involving our youngest, most unpredictable road users, kids. When you see this sign on a school bus, your entire mindset as a driver has to change in a split second. Yeah, the regular rules of the road still apply, but your number one priority, your absolute primary job, is now to anticipate the unexpected and protect the kids getting on or off that bus.
So, what's the actual protocol? The second you identify a school bus, your speed needs to drop immediately. Keep your eyes glued to its indicators. The moment they start flashing, you need to be ready to come to a full and complete stop. There are no exceptions. Children's safety is at stake, and there is absolutely zero room for error.
So we've covered the hard and fast rules for crossings and school buses.
Now let's just kind of pull back for a second and bring it all together into the mindset that really separates a good driver from a truly safe, great one.
Let's just lock in those key numbers one last time so they really stick. Remember, 150 meters is your early warning for a crossing, and 5 meters, that's the no parking zone on the roadway before you get to it. These are the critical distances you've got to know, both for your exam and for just being a safe driver every day. And that's really what this all boils down to. Following the rules, that's the bare minimum. Real safety, that comes from awareness. It comes from anticipating what could happen and understanding why these rules exist in the first place. So next time you're behind the wheel, ask yourself, are you just driving by the book, or are you driving ahead of the situation to make the road safer for everyone? Thanks for tuning in.